Go.
And that's how TJ cured his addiction to cookies. Thank you, everyone.
Join us next week on the podcast. God damn it, Luis. Let's not do this.
Someone didn't hit the record button.
Let's not pretend that Let's just move on. Do the intro. Let's get it out of the way.
I broke Tyler. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Shifty Key Podcast. I'm Luis, aka SpartanSloth, and today we have
TJ 1023.
Stuart can go next.
Oh, okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Stuart.
And I'm Tyler. I reserved the last spot for myself for some reason. I feel like it's a change.
Right, I'm gonna fucking copy Gus here, and it's SpartanSloth.
Damn it!
Fuck you, Tyler.
This is why we can't have nice things.
This is why you can have the last place on the podcast.
If you're going to copy Gus, you got to do the intro like Gus does. He introduces everyone, and then he says himself again. You have us introduce ourselves, therefore taking away your right to say your name
TJ,
twice.
how about you don't ruin my moment, okay?
For a host, you actually do very little work in comparison to Gus, because, you only read out your name.
Give me some ads, and I'll read them.
I'd give you,
Get us sponsored.
1 out of 5 Gusses.
Is that I can't say if that's a good or a bad thing? I don't know.
Essentially, Luis is now Gus's Gus Dash. That's how much of Gus
His
you
Gus
get.
Dash?
You are just a
I am
Gus
a
Dash.
fifth of Gus.
I mean,
Alright,
Gus Dash
I'll
was
take
pretty
it.
big. That's essentially 1/5 of Gus.
So
when he doesn't have his mustache, does Luis just not exist?
No, Luis just doesn't host the podcast next week.
That's what happened a few weeks ago. Gus shaved.
That's the new
forgot
rule.
about that.
Every time Gus shaves, either me or Tyler have to be the host of that week's podcast.
No, fuck that.
Until it grows back.
I'll fucking fight you guys.
do you not trust your editors with hosting a thing on the internet?
No, but hosting is my thing.
Oh, okay.
Then we'll let you edit.
No.
Yeah, you can do both.
Role reversal. It's like sex.
You don't want to do that to the audience.
The thumbnail comes out janky as fuck the next week.
But speaking of Gus, the topic we tweeted out as being the main one for this week is RTX 2016.
No way. I'm not at all jealous of the person that's the other Brit in the room that managed to go. God damn it.
Yeah, fucking TJ.
What?
Fuck you, TJ.
Yeah, fuck you, TJ. Wait, fuck you guys.
TJ, my American, non-American brother. That's weird. I don't know when you've suddenly crossed the border.
I'm the only
ocean.
person in America that can't go for money. Everyone else can go, not me.
Well,
Yeah.
technically, I am in America.
We've been through this.
But you're
It doesn't
not
count.
American.
South America. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I didn't really have much time to watch the panels and stuff online, because like I've been saying over the past few podcasts, I've been busy as shit. And but I did watch some of the things later on. By the way, shout out to Becca. She sent me a link with all the panels. That really helped. But yeah, did you guys catch anything from that? What do you think?
Did. This is going to be the most meta thing ever. I managed to watch Player 4's panel.
Oh,
That had
yeah.
Stuart in it.
Oh, God.
So this is
That
going to be weird.
That was both one of the moments that I loved the most out of all of RTX, and then I also realized that my brain wasn't really functioning that day for whatever reason, and I had to try and explain something, and ended up confusing myself in a truly British Gavin way. Well, I try and describe that shirts make great underwear, but then I tried to take it a step further about how you could try and wear underwear as a costume. And then I realized after a while that I essentially doubled back to myself and nothing made sense, and everyone in the entire room just went, "What?"
I mean, that is a skill.
For some reason, I watched a little bit of the panel before I went to watch, I think it was the Red versus Blue panel. And for some reason, the whole time I was watching up there, all I could think was, You missed 2/3 of our podcast for a ham sandwich once. That's all that came to mind.
The Player 4 podcast was so much fun. I just wish I hadn't done my little thing because that would have just made it flow a little better. But to be on a podcast in front of a room of about 20 people, even if it was only about 20 people, it was about 20 people who really got a kick out of the entire panel in terms of like, we did a live table read, which, Tyler, I don't know how much of that was you saw. I'm sorry for my Elvis impersonation. Yeah.
I was actually kind of impressed because I couldn't do that with a straight face, and there were points where I could tell that you were about to break as well. I was like, you managed to hold together the voice much longer than I would have.
But that was amazing again. No, I mean, if I had the chance to do it all over again next week and I had the money to go, I'd do it in a heartbeat. It was so fucking funny.
One of the weirdest moments of watching the panel was when you guys asked for questions. And we, I don't know, TJ, were you still watching the panel at this point, or was it too late for you? Because I don't know when RVB's one started.
It might have been a little too late. I don't remember it very well, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was so weird hearing Dr. Sparks there, and then immediately recognizing the voice and looking over like, wait a minute, I know that voice. You can't see who's on the screen. And as soon as it said, oh, it's Dr. Sparks, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is the weirdest thing. Two guests from here that I hear on a regular basis being there. I'm not saying I'm jealous.
Same room.
Yeah.
It was the only part of the panel I didn't kind of like was the fact that someone asked me what I thought about the Brit exit.
I saw that. That was pretty funny. You didn't want to get political.
Yeah, and I didn't want to get political. I tried all week to avoid that as well. And it's a case of, as someone who voted stay and not leave, I think I said it the other way around the panel, which made me regret it even more. I think I said on the panel I voted leave and not stay, but I actually voted stay and not leave. And I kind of thought to myself,
I think you covered yourself. I think you said something along the lines, shortly after that, where you're like, I'm not actually talking to anyone that voted leave or something.
Yeah, I was just like, if you voted leave, you're not my friend. I was like, bye. But no, final, I will say about that panel, one thing that Joseph, who is the editor-in-chief, he's the guy who edits the podcast, does all the video for the channel. I will say this quickly about it. He was very well prepared, and something that we never saw coming was the intro. None of us saw it coming. And I said to him afterwards, I said, how long did it take you to kind of get all that together? And he said, oh, I did most of it kind of as we've been going throughout the year. And I was like, oh, that's really good. So we had a little compilation video, and that's where my t-shirts as underwear thing came from. Was that something I said a year ago? And I was kind of hoping they brushed it under the rug. And he went, no, we got that. I was like, shit.
Because there's still some material in our podcast that we kind of have stored away for different purposes that we've been doing this for 2 years now, and I think there's still clips of stuff that
I hope that by purpose Tyler doesn't mean blackmailing.
I mean, I can totally blackmail you. There was one episode where you just outright started talking about polar bear hentai or something. So
no, I certainly did not.
I have proof. It's on your channel.
That is true.
Listen.
Backtrack.
I love the one-word response of "listen" followed up by no other words.
But. I mean, I will say this though. Thank you very much, guys, for taking that time to actually tune to the panel. It actually means a lot because we weren't able to really monitor on our end what was happening, if anyone was asking anything, or we just kind of had to go on the fly with what we had in the room. So no, thank you very much for watching. Ty, thank you very much for that screen cap, by the way.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't see it at the panel. I had my phone kind of on rest. I had my phone on lock, so I wasn't able to check it until I got at the panel and. Damn it, Tyler.
I do really wish, though, that someone could have found a monocle, or at least a permanent marker, from really early on. They were like, oh, they just need T monocles, and we got the most British person here. was like, God damn it, that is true. They need to get a monocle or something.
Yeah, that would have been good. That would have been good.
So, is it a thing that every British person has a monocle and a mustache?
No,
Yes.
but
No,
Yeah. No, not quite. It depends whereabouts in the country you live. Otherwise, it's required by law that you have a monocle.
Or a bowler hat.
Or a bowler hat, absolutely. A bowler hat or the chimney hat, obviously, which is a very, very tall version. The one that's almost like you can pop it into like 4 different segments. But it's just like, I like that whenever I was in front of a large crowd like that, I was really tempted to just go all stereotype and just really like, just be like on the panel and just be like, oh, hello, my name's Stuart, I'm British, how do you do? It's
Turn
like,
into Tracer. Cheers,
Yeah.
love.
cheers, love.
Tin crumpets.
The cavalry's here.
The cavalry's here, love. No need to fear.
Filthy
So-
colony.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Filthy colony. Damn.
Oh God. I don't think I would have lived if I had even said that on the panel. I would have been shot. No, but no, seriously, I had such a blast. The entire 3 days was basically me walking around the convention, finding things to do. On Saturday, I took a little time to go to basically hang around for the day. Went and did the panel, came out, and I basically all weekend all I tried to do was find people, which is like these are people on the internet who I haven't seen in 2 years or I haven't seen at all, and I just went, I need to find you, and you. Okay, so you're to a guide, so I can only see you at this specific time and get the photo then. The other people, you're walking around the floor, I'm going to find you, I'm going to hug you, I'm going to take a selfie with you and just be like, that's our moment. Cherish that. And I had such a fucking fun time doing it.
It sounds like the most kindest version of the taken phone call ever.
Yes.
I will find you and I will hug you. You know?
And I will take a photo to commemorate our time together.
Good luck.
But it was amazing. It was amazing. I couldn't say enough about it. The Guardians, by the way, absolutely kicked ass. There was no trouble whatsoever this year.
Good.
And you brought up the panels as well. I was at a couple of the panels this year. I went to Heroes and Halfwits. I went to one of the after hours things in the Werewolf, which had Ninja Brian. The crowd was okay for that. There was a couple of moments which the crowd normally in Werewolves. Have any of you played Werewolves before?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I think I played the game, but it's got several different names, hasn't it?
Yeah, so Werewolves is essentially it's a game where you basically set up a pretend village. So it's like you give a village a name, and then you have a werewolf, a fortune teller, and the rest are just villagers. And you have to try and find out who the werewolf is after each night, because the werewolf will kind of kill a villager with him.
Oh, I've played similar versions of it.
Yeah.
Town of Salem.
Town of Salem is kind of like that.
Sorry, yes, that's the name it's normally referred to by. Yeah, Town of Salem.
It's got so many names and variations now. I think it's
Yeah.
originally
Tyler,
called
for
Mafia.
some reason, always says Towns of Salem, but there's only one Salem.
But then when that town dies and someone lives, there's got to be another town for another game.
No, shut up. Don't try to justify your mistake.
Fine.
So with
Sorry.
that after hours thing, the Heroes and Halfwits panel, by the way, was great. If you get the chance to go back and watch it, I recommend it because it's Gus, Frank, Jeff, and Griffin shooting shit and just like going back through old stories and stuff like that, and it was absolutely great. And they had the little thing for the panel, which was like if you rolled a 1, you couldn't ask the question, and if they rolled a 20, you got 2 questions, and you get to sit on stage and ask it to them personally, which was really cool. And Ryan Hayward because Michael had prior commitments, so he couldn't make it. He had a sign in at that time, and they're like, well, shit. But Ryan was just like, every question Ryan got was like, what happened to the ferret? What happened to this? What happened to this? And Ryan was just like, I love the ferret. The ferret is God. With the town of Salem thing though, a lot of the crowd started out like, with Blaine died, people would just be like, sorry Blaine, boo Blaine, and stuff like that. And they started shouting out random stuff that would give the game away for a lot of people up on the stage. So it kind of took away from it. But it was still presented in a really nice way to where it didn't affect it too much. Like, it's a shame they didn't record that because Miles and Brian had one of the funniest things I've ever seen at any Rooster Teeth thing ever. And I don't even know if it was recorded for you guys to actually go back and watch. It was so funny. Have they actually? Did they actually?
Sorry.
Oh no, I was about to say finally. Did they actually confirm if they were releasing any of the after hours stuff, or was it just the fact that that was it? It was just after hours.
I don't actually know, because I don't know where to look to find out what is getting released and what isn't.
Yeah. I want to tell you guys what happened, but I don't know if they're going to release it or not, because I think after hours meant not recorded, but you don't quite know, because there was a camera crew there, I believe, so...
It might come out as a separate thing.
Yeah, I don't want to get... It's what... If it doesn't come out, I will appear on another podcast one time, and I'll probably tell you guys, but I can say right now, it's really funny. If it comes out, you have to watch Town of Salem. It was fucking phenomenal. But yeah, sorry, that was my entire RTX, sorry. I'll let someone speak now.
No, that's fine. I mean, we wanted to make this podcast about RTX, and considering you went, you have a lot more to say than us. Also,
I know that was like one giant rant, though, so I'll let someone else talk.
Also, fuck you, Louise. Out of the blue, I'm listening to Stuart, and all I hear is beep.
Exactly, sound check.
Sound check, yeah, like 20 minutes into the podcast. Cheers.
Beep, beep, beep.
Let me just deactivate the sound pack. Professional. God damn it, Louise, stop this. Okay, right, it's been stopped. Stop sending stuff. You're not even sending words anymore. Right, yeah, just close that. Fuck you. Your message privilege has disappeared. I'm going to kind of take it off on the tangent and say it was so difficult to pick between watching Player 4 and Ruby, which was happening at the same time. You guys are lucky that I kind of knew before the panel went up that you're not going to see it through the stream. You're not going to see like the trailers through the stream. And apparently I was right, because I caught it afterwards and they took that stuff away. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that might have been what I went to go watch, not Red versus Blue.
Yeah, but
and
they cut away from the trailer, didn't they?
Yeah, they pretty much, like, first of all, everybody in the chat spent the entire time bitching about, how they don't show stuff, and
I mean, that's why you go.
Yeah, they've done this every single year, and I didn't understand that. But I will say that they cut literally almost everything from the stream. Like, it was pretty much, for the people watching it, it was pretty much just a Q&A.
I mean, that's exactly why I watched Player 4, because it was like, I have been used to this in the past where there's a few things that you expect that you're not going to see much of at all, and Ruby's one of them, if you're watching through Twitch or whatever. So yeah, people that have had the experience of seeing RTX before kind of knew that in advance, I'm sure. I did catch the trailer though. I do like the
Has
new
it been
design.
officially launched yet?
The trailer on its own, nah. But someone stealthily had a camera in the audience.
Yeah, see, people kept posting links, and I didn't really feel like, violating the creator's wishes that people not see it yet. But
I mean,
you get that with everything, though, unfortunately. Like, did you hear on the off-topic podcast, Jack calling out the person who was recording the entire panel on the front row?
I didn't.
There was a moment where they're having a little back and forth, not with the crowd, but kind of with themselves, like they do, because it's off topic, and they have that little banter where it's like, I don't know if they're taking this seriously or not. And Jack all of a sudden just goes and shouts to the person down there who I can see with their phone up the entire time, who hasn't dropped their now they've dropped their phone. And it's a case of, he just kind of was like, yeah, they've just been recording for they've just had their phone up the entire 35 minutes that the stream's been going.
Dude, that's something I don't quite understand. It's, for me, I think it's the same logic as people who are at a concert and they pop out their cell phones and they start recording the concert. But first of all, I've never seen
concert.
Yeah, first of all, I've never seen anyone rewatching that, except when it's to show their friends, and it's always a shitty image quality or a shitty audio. Like, it's not the same thing as being there. Why don't you just put down your fucking phone and watch the show, the panel, the striptease, the whatever it is you're filming, Be there, enjoy the moment, record it with your brain. and remember it
Luis,
afterwards.
Preach it, my brother, because I agree with that 100%.
I will say that go against that as well. There was one person there's a channel on YouTube. I don't know if it's going to get taken down at one point, but there is an RTX 2016 YouTube channel up, but it's not an official one by Rooster Teeth. It's just someone who came along and stole or got the RTX 2016 channel like probably a couple of years ago and basically put some of the panels up there. And it's almost like a direct port from Twitch rather than like an official Rooster Teeth filming one. But there were a couple of moments that, as someone who went to, obviously was on a panel. Luckily, we weren't filmed. But you could see it even in the Heroes and Halfwits thing. Some people lived their entire thing there at Heroes and Halfwits, even at Werewolves as well. Lived it vicariously through their fucking phone screen. And I will not understand the fact that you've travelled. I mean, in my case, I've travelled several thousand miles across halfway across the world. So essentially, not so I can sit behind someone who took out their Samsung 8-7 bullshit and then point it at Jeffrey and Griffin and go, "Oh, capture this for later." It's like, it's a panel. It's recorded. It's going to get released.
I can understand, like, say if it's you taking a very quick thing, to show someone else to say that you were there, in the front row.
Like
if
a snapshot's fine.
Or like a selfie or something.
Yeah,
a selfie. Yeah, but when it's like you holding your arms there for like an hour, that's a bit ridiculous.
I did go to Raise One. I will say just quickly on panels, I went to Raise One. My God, that guy on his own, he hasn't missed a beat. Like, you always hear, like, when Ray first went solo after Rooster Teeth, people were like, I wonder if he will be the same, because Ray has a lot of like that snap humor, like it's quickly on the fly kind of improv, but he needs someone else to kind of set the joke up for him. Ray didn't miss a beat. Ray's actually funnier since he's left. There was a moment someone said to Ray, "Hey, I preferred you when you were in the internet box," and this just wasn't even a question. He just said to Ray over the microphone, like this at the Q&A, he just said, "Ray, I really preferred you when you're on the internet box panel." And Ray said, "I preferred you when you're in your dad's testicle, but you're still here." Oh. And he had a couple of lines like that, and it's just like Ray was very open about his standing with Twitch. He didn't even know he didn't know how long he'd be doing this Twitch thing for. He was very open with it. In fact, he's probably the most open with it that I've seen anyone actually discuss with Twitch. He was very open about what he does with Twitch and about what he can do and what he can't do. But whenever someone said something to him and it was slightly sneery, Ray hit back. Ray hit back and better. And the entire crowd at the end of racing gave him a standing ovation. It was so... I've never seen that before. And just like an entire audience just be like, Ray, 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 Ray.
Oh, jeez. One day, Luis is going to get that kind of treatment at an RTX panel. Hopefully. We're going to force it. It will be 10 people, but, we're going to force it.
Hey, even if it's just 5 people, I'll be okay with that.
It will be 5 people. It will probably be you, me, DJ, Jim, Vic.
To be honest, I'd consider it a win, even if it's just meeting you guys in person and that was it.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Now, on I don't know if I should bring this up because I don't really have the most favorable point of view from that, but...
Is it an erection?
Well, did you guys get anything from the sponsor panel? I mean, like the one where I think there was a panel about that. They announced the changes and all that shit.
I didn't see it.
I know there was a post by Matt, and I commented on that. And it seems like quite a few people shared my point of view, but...
Yeah, let's talk about that very quickly, because I'm not a member of the Rooster Teeth website, so it'd be interesting to hear all 3 of your opinions on this. But what do you make of the fact that you're no longer referred to as a sponsor, but you are now referred to as first?
You guys might want to go ahead. I'll pull up Matt's journal here and see if I can find it.
Yeah, I don't really like the sound of it very much. I mean, there's nothing we can do. And I guess there's always going to be change, but it just seems like kind of an arbitrary and dumb distinction.
It's just like, you are now first.
Yeah, it just seems very like arbitrary. And the name first itself, it just sounds dumb because, we've been ridiculing, people who've back in the day would comment first on a YouTube video, and I know people still do it, but it's just this kind of dumb thing that people get overly excited about. And now they've taken that and put it on the name of, sponsorship, which used to be kind of this, not prestigious, but it's just a way to like let other people in the community know that you supported Rooster Teeth. And now you're first.
In all honesty, though, like, I can't really... if the name doesn't catch on, which it doesn't sound like it will, I think people are just going to still refer to the sponsorship deal or whatever it is. I know it's going to be called First or whatever, but they're just going to call each other sponsors.
The thing is, it's not a matter of if it will or if it won't. It didn't. But they're forcing it. Like, it's, oh yeah, sure, we saw the feedback that you guys fucking hated it, but hey, fuck it.
YOLO.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's always going to be called First. I just don't really see why they needed to change the entire name just to add another tier of sponsorship.
Yeah.
Dollar bill, y'all.
Yeah. I as someone who's on the outside nowadays, kind of looking into the Rooster Teeth website, and I go back on there occasionally because it is nice to kind of just give Rooster Teeth that little website hit rather than me just living my entire life through their YouTube channel now. I will say there are a couple of things about the website I like, a couple of things I think they've implemented a bit too late, and there's a couple of things that I think kind of put me off coming back to the website, and that's one of them. It's such a small little detail about the website, but to be called a first and not a sponsor would really put me off coming back, which is why I now get pretty much my entire RT life through Twitter, through YouTube, through Facebook, and now... I go to RTX almost every other year, so it's a case of if I want to really catch up on RT stuff, it's better to do it at RTX now.
Yeah, I mean, I only recently got my sponsorship back, and that was mainly to watch Day 5. But, the only reason I go to the RT site anymore is for the exclusive content. So, yeah.
The TJ's a first. No,
I am a first for,
Sounds like you have some... See,
it doesn't even entirely make too much sense because the only part of sponsorship that's first is some of their public content. It's either public content you get first or everything else you get exclusive. It just...
Like
the name seems really...
This sounds really weird, but would it have been better if they called it like a Rooster Teeth VIP or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be so much better.
But first would have been better. If they're called like, oh, you're no longer sponsors, you're the Scarecrows, it would have been better. It sounds better than first.
Yeah,
like,
or
seriously,
just keep it sponsored. I don't know any other company that like refers to important members of their community as sponsors and whatnot. Unless they're worried about the confusion between the word sponsor regarding community members and actual sponsors of the show. That's the only thing I can think of, but still first.
Yeah, one of the things I read is that this move was because they wanted to be clear about who was a sponsor, as in a company that sponsors them, let's say Pizza Hut, or whatever they read on the RT podcast. Those are sponsors now. So in order to not cause confusion with the people who pay the subscription for them, these people are now going to be called first. And this is sort of a recap for the people listening to the podcast who might not have been able to get updated on that. So now the sponsors are called first, or firsties, according to what Matt said was a suggestion by Barbara. So my take on this whole sponsorship thing, because if you guys go to my profile on the RT site, you'll see I'm not a sponsor right now. Sorry, what, Taylor?
Oh, I just said name drop. As soon as you said, if you go to my page, I was like,
oh yeah, give us a like and subscribe. No, it's not like that.
You can't.
Seriously, subscribe.
You can't even do that on Rooster Teeth's site.
Shut up. So if you go to my profile, you'll see I'm not a sponsor, but my concerns are like community-wide. Well, first of all, first is just stupid because, as TJ put it, it's something that we've been all ridiculing and disliking ever since the internet is the internet. People post first and it's like, oh yeah, well, go fuck yourself. It's bad internet etiquette. etiquette, is that the word?
Etiquette.
Etiquette, thank you. So, when you call your community sponsors like that, it's just bad. Like, seriously, call them pussycats or scarecrows or
roosters,
wooden cubes or roosters. Fucking obvious, anything would have been better. But they set up for this whole first thing without even asking the community if they liked it, and it's something that they're going to be calling a big part of their community. But fuck it. So
yeah, and
yes.
No, you can go.
No, I was going to go for another point in the whole sponsorship thing, but go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, like, in regards to the whole confusion with the name thing, this could just be me being a pretentious douchebag or whatever, but the way they worded it in that journal or YouTube comment quote thing or whatever, it kind of sounds like they assume that most of the Rooster Teeth members are dumb. Like, how many people don't know the difference between an ad sponsor and a Rooster Teeth sponsor? Usually when you put the word Rooster Teeth sponsor before it, people automatically know that, that's the person. Like, I just don't see how many people can't understand the distinction.
Wait, DJ, you're not Pizza Hut?
Yeah, clearly the account on the website says Pizza Hut,
Yeah, I mean, clearly there aren't too many people in the community who can actually afford to pay for ad time on the Rooster Teeth podcast.
I'm sure some might. Some won't, but some might be able to afford it.
This podcast is sponsored by SpartanSloth. Go check out his profile and see that he doesn't have a sponsor star in his name. Also, subscribe to his profile, even though there's no way to do that.
Subscribe to his profile and see his last post from 10 months ago.
Subscribe to his profile and see his stuff first.
Oh.
Name dropping.
But, I mean, yeah, like I say, something like that. I must admit, I didn't hear one person at RTX, though, talk about it. Not one. Maybe it was brought up in a panel, maybe with Matt or Bernie or Barbara or something like that. But as far as I can tell at RTX, no one talked about it. It was this thing that happened literally just around the corner from RTX, and no one talked about it. I didn't hear one person moan about it or even praise it or anything like that. Everyone was just like, yeah, we're just going to enjoy RTX. We don't know what's happening on the website. We don't know what's happening to it. It's just a case of whatever happens, happens, and we're just going to enjoy RTX. And I loved it. It was a case of, because on Twitter I saw this whole thing about, wow, that's a really weird thing for Rooster Teeth to do. And on RTX, everyone was just like, yeah, we'll sort it out later.
Well, you also got to think, like, for some people that are going there, they don't know the next time that they're going to be able to attend. My voice just cracked.
Hi!
But it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, they've made this change, but, like, am I going to spend, 10 minutes writing a comment, on the website being mad at it that will get you nowhere? Or am I going to spend that 10 minutes walking through town with a bunch of other people I met through this community and have a laugh with them? You know?
That's the thing. Like, they took a bold bet releasing this before RTX because it could backfire and people just keep talking about it and complaining or whatever. Or it could work like it did, which kind of reminds me of the whole circus and bread policy, and it's like, oh yeah, I mean, there is this thing that a lot of people are concerned, but here's a convention,
Yeah. In all honesty, it's just it's a stupid name, and they should have maybe thought about changing it to something like VIPs. That sounds like it works more efficiently. But it's
I think
just
the problem's
a name.
Deeper. I think the problem's deeper, Tyler.
How deep?
I mean,
how deep?
Yeah, well, so there are some other points. First of all, there's the whole thing of not asking the community if they want it to be called first to begin with. But anyway, then there's the whole double gold thing, which is like an RT box of sorts. It's like a loot crate or whatever, which is super expensive on top of the already a bit more expensive sponsorship. But there is one thing that's been going on for quite a while, and it's that I don't know if you guys noticed, but they pretty much stopped going, hey, join our community site. It's more like become a sponsor on roosterteeth.com, and that really changes the tone of the whole thing, because it's like they're pushing more for people to pay for the subscription than to just join the community and, be there with the other fans. And the other thing is, and then that's the part where I think it could be a slightly unpopular opinion, but I don't know, that I think sponsorships made a lot of sense when they were self-funded, because they didn't have like the super amounts of cash that Fullscreen provides them. Then they were acquired by Fullscreen. They were like, yeah, but it's not going to change anything for us, and we're going to be able to release bigger and better things with better production values and stuff. Cool, great, all right. But most of the better production value stuff, let's say Day 5 or Crunch Time or the RT Docs and stuff, these are all behind a paywall. They're just for sponsors. But it's something that they announced that because of Fullscreen, they would be able to release these things. Why are they behind let's say, an eternal paywall? Because they're not going to be released to the public anytime soon or ever. I mean, more money, the better, okay, but, at least own up to it.
I will say their typical defense, it's a business. They have to make money somehow, So if there is exclusive content, I can see why they've done it. But in all honesty, it's not going to destroy everything, just because I don't want to outright say that I support the decision, but look at how much stuff you can get for nothing. I haven't been a sponsor for a very long time, and they still put out a hell of a lot of stuff that I can't even keep up with. I don't want to defend them, but that's the truth. And if they're putting out that amount of stuff, they have to find out how to keep it going, funded by Fullscreen or not. I'm sure they want it, like, the Rooster Teeth company name to kind of financially run on its own as well. My 2 cents. Just trying to defend.
And in regards to kind of this whole, like, the funding, the money kind of side of it, and also to the, damn it, I lost my entire train of thought.
Choo-choo, bitch.
Oh, okay, kind of have it again. Okay, and, like, the thing in regards to, like, them not asking the community, while I think we can criticize it all we want, in the end, they do have the right to change it, and I'm kind of with Tyler. I'm not defending them. I'm just saying they kind of have the right as the company to change stuff at will. And yes, it would have been nice for them to have, like, brought something like this up beforehand. I still kind of can see it from their point of view, where it's their right, and also they're continually trying to expand as a company, so obviously they're going to need more income. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents.
You also got to think, like, if you give people the right to ask, like, hey, we're going to make these changes, what do you guys think, yes or no, no or yes, and they do a poll, you got to think, if they do that and the results come in, and let's say 61% of people said, yep, great idea, and the rest of that percentage say, nope, terrible idea, don't do this, they're going to go with the majority and piss off that amount of people, regardless, if they asked.
That's democracy.
Yeah, but I don't want to kind of see a similar EU referendum thing start happening with every decision Rooster Teeth make, because then it will take a while for any changes to happen. And that site kind of does still need to change a few things before I can wholeheartedly recommend it to other people, Because as Masshalogear said ages ago, like,
I like how you call me Masshalogear and not Stuart. You took the long way around.
Yeah, I think it was because I was actually looking at your username that time.
It was back before you were Stuart.
Way back when.
Oh, by the way, talking about that, this can be the weirdest tangent ever. Sorry about this. I was in Texas when you released a nameplate thing. Can I still get my nameplate changed, if that's okay?
Yeah, feel free. Oh, yeah, I'm still doing nameplates for the audience.
Please change it to XXX Swagmaster69 Pussy Tornado Wrecker XXX.
Unfortunately, Tyler has requested 12 characters, and as my name's 12 characters, as my name is 12 characters long, I get tired of seeing it now because it's a case of I know that's what I'm known by, but seeing something that's so long on the screen makes it just really hard for people nowadays. It's just like your name's Mass. Hey, what is that? What is that for a name?
Is your name Masshalogear?
It's always your name Mash. Like some people forget there's a second SS. So some people are like, is your name Mash? What is that? A-low gear? You got something on your car? What is that?
I'm not gonna reveal what my old username used to be when I used to do stuff back on the internet in like 2007. But like, no one could pronounce my username whenever they said it.
Swagmaster Tornado Pussy Wrecker XXX.
I can see where Stuart's coming from. Like, yeah, people.
It's just better to call me Stuart, even if you just get the same colours. Can I just be known as Stuart now? I think that.
That's an easy change.
Yeah,
it's probably quicker to do than changing the colours. Really.
Change the colour, Stuart. Change the fucking colour.
Why?
I don't want to put through. I don't want
to give Tyler more work.
Oh, that's why. But yeah, to try to remember what I was saying before, it was like Stuart said it a little while ago, where it was like you said something along the lines of you don't use the website that often. You kind of link together with people through stuff like Twitter and Twitch and wherever else. You know, it's like the community kind of starts briefly on Rooster Teeth, and then everyone hangs out other places.
Yeah. Just talking about that quickly, though, about how Rooster Teeth's social network and stuff like that is slightly different now. Linking it all back, let's go back to RTX for a second. Did you see how quickly they were promoting Snapchat?
Oh, yeah. It was all over the place.
So instead of them making like a Rooster Teeth update at the end of RTX, I don't think a lot of the staff did, from what I can see. But throughout the entire event, even people who'd never even used Snapchat before were like, follow me on Snapchat for RTX 2016. I'm just thinking, as someone who was going, I saw no point in doing this. But for everyone else, I can see why they wanted to do so, but you only got like 10 seconds of action, so they would have to keep taking so many photos, I guess, to kind of give the content's worth. But I never heard anything like of a promotion for Snapchat. I never heard anything of it. It was just a case of all of a sudden everyone was just like, here's my Snapchat, my Snapchat, my Snapchat, my Snapchat. Here, find all of Funhouse here. And it's just like, what the fuck happened? What happened?
It's also one of those things where it's like, so all of this content, are you not saving it up and not putting it up on, your pages on Rooster Teeth, the thing that you own? For a keepsake? No? Okay.
I did appreciate the fact they were trying to just do something so quickly. It's like in between walks, people would just take like a quick selfie or something like that on Snapchat with like some of the fans and just be like, going to the Ruby panel or going here.
Yeah, that's a good thought, actually, yeah.
It's just a kind of case of, at least you kind of stay informed about what's happening, but I guess because it takes like 5 seconds to do that, it's not a time waster, so I guess that's kind of why they did. But I will say, again, it was one of those things, for as great as RTX was, I always heard no one even talk about the website outside of like the community panels. Because there's a lot of the community panels, that like the community content creators and stuff like that, like Big Bite Media, they kind of pushed the website and they were like, yeah, so we've got this and you can find this and things like that. I didn't hear the staff talk about it though, but the community was all for it.
Yeah, it's going to happen. You know what's going through my head, like ever since you brought up using Snapchat? It's a shame Pokemon Go didn't come out like a week earlier, so everyone at RTX would be kind of distracted by, trying to get like shit ton of Pokemon.
It's all a plot, man. Rooster Teeth is Illuminati confirmed.
Can you imagine how much shit would have to go down if, like, during a panel, like, they walk in and there's, like, of a rare Pokemon on the stage.
I would have loved that. It's like, because Miles and Kerry are Pokemon fans. If Kerry had walked into like a Ruby panel, for example, with his phone up and just been like, hold that person right there. There's a fucking Gengar. There's a Gengar on your head. Sir, don't move. And Kerry just very gingerly walks up to him, throws the Pokeball on the screen, just be like, you've been very helpful, thank you very much, and just walks back to the panel.
I know that there was like pictures of people trying to catch like a Caterpie like after everything was sorted. I can't remember who it was, but I remember that picture being retweeted all over the place.
My favorite Pokemon Go thing was I was at the airport. This isn't something that happened at RTX technically, but it was at the airport. I really like the fact that Austin Airport, the day I came back, there were still so many people from RTX like on the plane, but everyone was addicted to their phone. I'm just thinking, I can't even download the goddamn game. How are people playing this? And then people are like, I just caught a horsey at Austin Airport. It's just like, what have we descended to now we're playing Pokemon at the airport?
There's like a weird one of like a Bulbasaur. Like I keep on seeing like pictures of these things popping up in like the most inappropriate places. But one of my favorite ones, I think it's Bulbasaur. No, it was Squirtle. And it was on the wing of this aeroplane. I was like, imagine that. Like if I told you a year ago, soon we'll be catching Pokemon off of the wings of planes. That would sound crazy.
Yeah, man, don't you hate it when you're having sex with a water fountain at a public park and then a Bulbasaur jumps out of nowhere?
It's
fucking third time bad. This week.
Someone's wedding, and they're like, hold up, there's a golem.
Yeah, the thing I found interesting, but at the same time a little weird about Pokemon Go is how people are interacting. It is interesting that a lot of just random strangers are striking up conversations and going like, yeah, join my team, or there's a Pokemon here, there, and whatever. That's actually really cool, But at the same time, I keep seeing these stories like people taking walks at like 2 or 3 a.m.
Yep.
to catch Pokemon and finding strangers doing the same thing. What the fuck? Why are you like hunting Pokemon like at 3 a.m., dude?
Luis, you don't understand. They want to be the very best. Like no one ever was.
Then again, I'm thinking like with the mentality we need to have here in Brazil. Like if you go out at 3 a.m.
with your
something
phone out,
bad's gonna happen. Unless you're like coming back from a party or whatever. Don't go like to public parks or whatever at 3 a.m. Just don't. Then again, security might be better in the US or UK or whatever, but that's the odd part.
It is a little weird. Going back full circle, how many of the other panels and stuff and things from RTX did you guys check out? Because we've only covered a very, very small amount of what happened though. So what else was everyone kind of checking out and keeping an eye out for?
Well, I'm still watching the things I missed. I only managed to watch very little. Was it during RTX they released the Red vs. Blue episode that was sort of like Borderlands with Ruby? Was it at RTX? I can't remember.
Don't know.
The only thing I've seen like RVB related at RTX was the RTX RVB episode, or the special one with like apparently were like they had like Dwayne Johnson, Vin Diesel, and all these guys in there.
Oh right. Wait, the actors themselves or just the names?
It was the name. So basically, they did like Sarge versus Tucker: The Origin of Sin.
Yeah,
and it was like there was like several.
Action.
There was like it was a live action one where it had like a couple of hundred people dress up in like Spartan armor and stuff like that. And it was just really funny to see Rooster Teeth basically just go, how many of these big names can we basically shove into like a very weird movie trailer edit? It was just really funny to see that. And then to see Sarge and Tucker launch themselves at each other in motorbikes as well, was just like, what the fuck?
I will absolutely go watch that on the movie theater.
I would have watched that in a heartbeat if that was a real thing. I was just like,
I'm surprised I haven't considered it, but I guess there would be like a lot of legal issues you would have to sort out with like Halo if you turn around and said, we want to make a film and it's about RVB. Can we do it with you guys? You know?
Probably. I mean, if Microsoft or I think it's 343,
It'll be 343 now, I believe.
Yeah, as long as they don't have any plans down the line for more live action stuff, like it's been done recently, I think they wouldn't mind. RVB helped Halo a lot, and Halo helped RVB a lot, you know? So I think they'll be cool with it. Like, okay, they will have to work some stuff out and all that, but I don't really think they would have a lot of trouble, or at least nothing like no bad blood issues, you know? Like, oh, we fucking hate you guys, but we want to use your property. No, Taylor Swift, don't.
They meter out that song so weirdly. Sorry. I don't know why.
More like Tyler Swift. Ayo!
Oh, is that a thing? You removed A from her name? Louise, fuck you. From the bottom of my heart.
Tyler, please.
Taylor, what are you doing? Did I just completely distract your point, by the way?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, did I distract your point?
Oh, well, I guess it did, because I had no idea what you were talking about.
You're welcome, audience.
Yay. Because one of the other things at RTX I kind of wanted to check out, but I never had the chance to, was like one of the main podcasts. So what I consider is like the RT podcast, and you had Off Topic. They're bringing back the fan service podcast, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, fuck. Anime stuff. Woo.
And they've also got, I think they announced there's 2 new episodes of Camp Campbell. Sorry, Camp Cam, not Camp Campbell, Camp Camp. And Funhouse is getting its own Sex Swing animated series as well, which I think will be interesting because obviously Joel no longer works with Funhouse, so they've got to try and figure out, I think, something for him. But
wait, Joel left too?
Yeah, Joel's not there.
Huh.
Joel hasn't been there for like a month now.
I've been a little behind on Funhouse stuff.
Yeah, Joel. He is now working. I think he's gone back. I think he's gone to IGN. I think.
Huh.
I think. I don't know. He wanted to go somewhere because he said he'd taken he had been part of Funhouse and for like the last 9 years because obviously they were inside gaming. He said basically he thinks that Funhouse will continue to grow now because Joel was like their community manager as Funhouse. They're kind of their version of it. And he said he'd basically been able to help take them as far as he could, but he thinks it will always continue to go without his need, like without his help. He doesn't really feel a challenge from it anymore, so he wants something fresh. But Joel left like a month ago.
Hey, do you think he would accept working for us in exchange of our deepest gratitude?
I'm sure we can reach out to him for some kind of deal.
Would be a challenge for him. I'll take that.
Oh, yeah. That would be a challenge. Hey, do you reckon you can get us like 20,000 subscribers by the end of this month? Cheers, fans. Oh, God, that would be weird.
He probably could just by tweeting about it.
He probably could, but I don't want to stoop that low and ask.
I'm sure out of those 20,000 people, there's got to be somebody who would be willing to listen to us drone on. And
I'm sure that 20,000 people would check us out. 20,000 people might not subscribe.
But did any of you guys see the Off Topic podcast, or are you guys still playing catch up with that?
I'm still playing catch up a little bit.
Okay.
I haven't caught it.
Just watch out for Michael. Someone took a Michael segment from that show and just put it up on YouTube on its own.
Didn't he just get very, very drunk? That's something I've heard. Okay.
He basically drank about 2.5 jars of peach moonshine.
Damn, dude.
He basically, because there was 20 jars in this cooler, and they all had one at the start. So it was Jeff, Jack, it was Michael, Jeremy, Jeff, Jack, Lindsay, and Ryan appeared a little late because he came from the free play panel. So he came in about 25, 30 minutes in. And Lindsay apparently was driving Michael home. So Lindsay had, obviously with a jar of moonshine, barely had any of it. And Michael basically took her jar from her and had that himself. Plus he had his own one, and he was about 3/4 of the way through another one by the time the podcast had finished. And he basically got almost blackout drunk. You could see it like the last 20 minutes of the panel. He's fading. And I hope no one from Fairy Tale watches that podcast because he had like a very, very small Fairy Tale moment as well. He's like, how does that make sense?
Well, you got to think Funimation have already recorded all that stuff with him, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. But someone basically took that entire segment and made it its own thing on YouTube. So if you can't catch up with the entire 2-hour panel, just watch the 9-minute segment on YouTube.
Man, that's funny. I'm sorry.
No, I was about to say, and that basically just explains the entire podcast in one sitting. Like, Gavin and Jeff didn't even finish the panel. They weren't even there. They'd gone. Gavin had dashed off somewhere, and Jeff wasn't even on the panel by the time it finished. So
it was literally RTX version of Off Topic Podcast.
Yes, pretty much. It was Trevor and Matt joined in instead of Gavin and Jeff to finish it. Like, Trevor and Matt joined them up on stage. But
it's funny because I'm watching the Achievement Hunter panel. Well, I was before we started recording. And some dude just asked Michael what would he do if there was like a fridge with 20 gallons of moonshine. And he was like, well, you let me know what the convention was on Monday. So, foreshadowing, I guess.
Never trust moonshine.
The other thing I was going to say as well, I never had the chance to really see Achievement Hunter either. There was like a 4-hour start line time for those things as well. Like, you'd be halfway through your day and they would just be like, Achievement Hunter. The line starts like 4 hours early. Like, Off Topic started at 4 in Austin, and I was getting a notification on the app at about 11:30, 12 o'clock. It's like, the line for Off Topic has just opened. It's just like, shit. And then when you got there, because I was originally going to go to Off Topic, and I was in Off Topic, and then Ray said he was doing a sign-in, and I went straight there, because I was like, I haven't seen Ray in 3.5 years that I've been talking to him. I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go find Ray and go get him to sign something. So I did. And I got a very awkward photo with him, which was even more annoying. But sitting in Off Topic, you kind of realize how long someone's been waiting to line up for that. Could you imagine? The line opened at 12. But by the time I got there, which was 3 o'clock, the room was full.
Oh, God.
Damn, dude.
So it's a case of, how long have you been lining just for Off Topic? Because there was only £2 that day, I think, as well. That was Ruby and Off Topic. So
I figure some people just camp outside the convention center.
Pretty much. I assume someone just came with a tent and just sat outside the room and just went, and mine.
Here's the thing.
You guys want some pork and beans? I'm setting up a fireplace here. I did read an article that, a newspaper article, claiming that there was quite a lot of people who didn't shower and that they were stinking. That was bad.
Oh,
okay,
God.
I have to say something about that. There's a difference between not showering and some people not being used to the heat and not having a shower facility at the convention center. Because I was staying with a couple of friends about 25, 30 minutes from downtown. So you would be in your car. Obviously, I can't drive, so I'm with these people who are driving me to and from the convention with them. You are in the car going to the convention. It's already hot and humid as it is. So you have 30 minutes where you've just literally stepped out the shower and you know you'll dry to the convention center. By the time you get to the convention center, you are hot and sweaty again.
Oh, yeah.
So by the time you have to go shower, you're already at the convention. It hasn't even opened yet. But you will be at the convention and you can tell who showered that day and who didn't based on how, like, I have a high metabolism, but I also sweat really easily. So I lose weight like crazy, especially in Austin with all the barbecue. I lost a lot of weight. But I was sweaty, but I wore deodorant that day. I was showering. So I didn't stink, but I just had a really sweaty back. And you can tell. But someone who was standing in front of you or behind you, you could tell if they showered or not, purely by how greasy their hair was and how they smelt. It was just a case of, you would be up behind people and you'd be standing in line for something for like an hour and you'd bust out like $1 million butt and you'd be behind someone and just go, what's
God.
that? Was that you? Is that, I can't tell if you farted or whether you actually just stink. And then you check yourself and you're like, was that me? No, my armpits still smell of deodorant, so I know it's not that. And you just like kind of lift your shirt open and you just be like sniffing your chest and it's like, it's not my chest. Is it my ball sack? What is that? What is that smell? But you start judging yourself because the people around you stink from all the sweat and the humidity. That you end up double guessing yourself. It's like, no, I definitely wore deodorant. Well, it's not my shirt. Is it my shirt? No, it's not my shirt. And you start double guessing, but you could tell who did and who didn't shower. There was a clear
Was it actually
distinction.
particularly hot in the convention center?
It was air-conned, but you would still, like, if you sat down, I mean, me personally, I don't know what it was like for everyone else, but me personally, I could feel the difference between what was air-conned and what was slightly air-conned. Because the minute you started gathering around people for a line, you were done. That was it. I could feel instant heat radiating from everyone.
Just the massive heat.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like the main convention floor was very lovely air-conned, but Heroes and Half-Wits was an hour and a half long line, and you would be sitting amongst people, talking to people, and 6 people in 2 feet of you was just like, no. Just no.
I feel like as well when you mentioned the lines and how long people wait in smelly lines, I got the feeling that if I had gone, or if I managed to ever go to RTX, which I'm really, really hoping I can, I got the feeling I wouldn't even go for the panels. I would just go to try and, actually talk with people. That would be the main thing that I'd be after.
Yeah. It's like I said earlier, I spent 3 days trying to find people, and then I went to, so yeah, it was okay. So I went to Race Panel, went to Heroes and Half-Wits, and it was great, but like I say, you could just tell that distinction between someone who had washed and who hadn't. So, It's interesting. You found that in the newspaper, though.
Oh, God. Yeah, what newspaper was covering that, Luis?
Hold on.
Fox.
That's an interesting paper. I've never heard of that one. Hold on. I've got to search this paper. It sounds great.
Man, it is a thing. It was Forbes. Forbes.com.
Wow, holy shit.
Yeah, apparently the reporter is a community member. She's called Bree Brower. I think I misspoke her last name, but yeah, Bree Brower.
Bree Brower is she used to be known on the website. I believe she used to be known as Church's wife. That was her username. And then she got called. Oh, what was it? But we follow each other on Twitter. I know who you're talking about. Ginger-haired lady. I know her. She was at a panel. Very lovely lady.
This is where, you just saved us from saying whoever wrote this article can go to hell. Oh, wait, you know each other? Sorry.
Yeah, she was at a lot of panels this year, so I guess she had a better view of it. I think everyone's experience was slightly different, though. I also have, a very sensitive sense of smell. Yeah. And like I say, I sweat quite a lot because I wasn't used to the heat. So it was very easy though to kind of go, well, you didn't wash. You
guys want to hear what she wrote? It's really short, this particular paragraph.
Okay.
So the article is pretty much built in 3 parts. It's the good, the bad, and the interesting. So in the bad sector, number 3 is, it's 2016 and people still don't seem to understand how to shower. I get it. RTX is a gaming convention. You'd like to think the generalization about gamers not showering for days isn't true, but sadly, it is. More times than not, I or my friends would smell something incredibly rank, only to look at the RT fan standing next to us. Seriously, people, be considerate to other sensory organs for 3 days out of your life and shower.
Pro tip, shower.
Pro tip for life, shower.
At the very least,
it's not going to take your soul away. This is not 1700s. Don't believe that.
That being said, TJ, that can smell really bad as well when when you can tell they've just used deodorant for that week or something. It's like,
they use enough deodorant for the entire week.
And it's like, oh yeah, you may be using deodorant, but it's mixing with the smell of BO as well. It's not good. When you actually have a mix, it's the most disgusting smell.
Yeah. But hey, let's do some questions, shall we?
I'm not going to call out where I found that smell from, because I'm worried that they might listen to this podcast one day.
All right, so Questions. Yo, I spit on my monitor.
Ooh,
Lovely.
Anyway,
so this first question is by Sandy8P, and the question is, TJ, are you paying attention?
God fucking damn it.
This individual question, always for TJ every week.
You know, if we ever do somehow get an RTX panel, I swear to God, I'm just going to bring my laptop and I'm going to spend the entire time browsing Reddit.
Be the most disinterested person to ever get onto a panel ever.
Yep. Calling it right now.
Anyway, TJ.
I thought you were going to say something along the lines of, if Sonny goes and asks that question, I'm going to legitimately get up and punch him. But
no,
I can't imagine him going.
Whether he goes or not, I will just refuse to pay attention.
Yeah, but he's Super Saiyan Brad Pitt. You'll never actually see him.
Doesn't matter,
but it might one day.
Okay.
All right, may I ask the question or not?
No, you asked the question. That was it. We're done. No.
Another one.
Fine.
So this one is also by Sandy8P, and it's a big one.
Oh,
so bear with me a little. Yeah, about. So there was once a boy. He existed in the time before, way back when there was only night. So all he did was sleep and dream. At first, he dreamed of light, so he created it. Then he dreamed of many other things and created them also. He could do anything he wanted, fulfill any wish he had, have every kind of pleasure. After a while, he thought, what if there was a dream that was not fully under control, and something happened to him that he didn't know could happen? He was surprised. He had so much fun. He wanted to experience much more of it, going on many more adventures and having many more gambles. He gave away so much control in order to gain so much. Question 1. If you could have anything you ever wanted at any time you wanted, will life still be worth living? That was a question you already asked, Sonny, but thank you. And the question 2 is, who was that boy? So question 1, I remember I said no, because, working hard towards obtaining something, an objective, or working towards a goal, it's, part of the flavor, enjoy the ride. So,
yeah, because
as for question 2,
yeah.
John Cena. Play the meme, Tyler, play the meme.
Indubitably.
Yeah, for the first one, we definitely said that somewhere before, because I remember saying something along the lines of, if everything was just that easily attainable, what would be the point? Because let's say if it was like, oh, I want to be a voice actor, and then tomorrow I got into a production, I got a convention, I got this, that, and the other, it wouldn't feel like I had earned it, I feel like you have to struggle a little bit. And who the hell was that boy? I'm just going to say it was TJ, because I don't understand.
Tyler, you might want to edit out when I asked you to put the meme, so it surprises the audience. Please.
No.
And then you put the meme instead of what I said.
Do it.
Sounds like extra work.
Maybe I'll do it.
It is extra work. Thank you, TJ.
Fine. Fine, I see how it is. Okay.
So the boy is either John Cena or TJ, or...
I don't get the question really with the boy. Does it matter?
Yeah, there's this whole thing, and the question is, who was that boy?
I understand a bit, beforehand, there was a boy in the dream and blah, blah, blah. But does it matter who it is? It was me.
So, Stuart, TJ, what do you guys think?
I think the boy was little tomfoolery.
Damn, that's deep stuff right there.
Little Tom who?
Tomfoolery?
Yeah.
You've never heard of tomfoolery?
I'm not familiar with that, no.
So you're not up to date with shenanigans?
No.
That's a shame.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Shenanigans, the achievement hunter thing?
No, not quite. Is it a British slang word then? Tomfoolery?
Tomfoolery. Oh God, hang on. Now I've got to try and shit. I don't want to get mixed up on this now. Hang on. Let me have a. Tomfoolery is foolish or silly behavior.
Oh.
Like shenanigans.
All right.
This is where Luis is like, that was actually clever, in retrospect.
Now that you guys mention it, I think I've heard it once or twice a long time ago. But
Probably
at first thought, it was something British. But at first thought, I thought it was like, what the fuck is tomfoolery? That's a weird name.
Oh God, please let there be someone like a celebrity that's changed their name to tomfoolery.
Let's see, maybe on Facebook.
Possibly. I believe the last person to answer the question is TJ. What's the name of the boy? If you say something from Reddit, you get bonus points.
Something from Funny Junk. I don't know.
Oh, bonus.
I have no idea who the boy is.
Do you want me to repeat it, TJ?
Shut the fuck up, Luis.
Oh my God, do not
I know the
that
question.
one.
I just didn't know I don't know the boy.
But
to answer the first part of the question, I'll agree with Luis that hard work it gives you the best results. Or wait, how do I phrase it? Hard work will give you the most satisfaction. While it is nice to take shortcuts every once in a while, having everything never makes you happy.
Yeah.
Unless you're Donald Trump.
Nice.
I was going to say that was
at the end.
Then.
So deep, and then you played your trump card. Ayo, overused pun.
Tyler, please.
Say
right,
some for the pun.
God damn it, Tyler.
What?
Right, so the next one, I'm gonna ask a Tyler question. Oh my God.
See, now you could have probably asked the panty stocking question just to see if anyone else got it. Damn it.
I already did, pal. So, the question is, red or blue?
I love how there's a silence for this. Like, red or
sorry,
blue.
I heard Tyler question. Sorry, was that open up to everyone?
Oh, yeah, that's...
Oh, yeah, I apologize. I wasn't clear. Sorry. No, this is a question from TDBTyler, and the question is, red or blue?
Oh, blue. It's my favourite colour, so I thought to think I'm biased, but yeah, it's blue.
I'm just waiting for TJ and Louise to be like, I don't know. My God.
So,
what is
are we talking the RVB teams or just color?
Nope. I'm not giving you any context.
Cool.
I'm going to be sunny about this.
RVB-wise, I like both teams. They each have characters I really like. Color-wise, red.
Oh.
I will go with blue.
All right, I'm going to keep it even. I'm going to say red.
Yay!
Mainly because cyan is incredibly close to blue, and we all know my
cyan
opinion.
is a shade of blue.
This is not... Let's put this away for some other time. Let's just not go down that deep, dark hole.
No, let's.
That was like 200 podcasts ago, and it's not even from our podcast. It was like in the late.
If you want to get
podcast.
this reference, listen to the rest of the podcast.
If you want to get this podcast, go back 3 years and listen to whatever latecomer podcast that was.
That actually showed up on our podcast too.
Oh God! Oh yeah.
To make it easy on you guys, just look for anything with Gold Guy 81. It's there.
He's been on one podcast, and I kind of roasted
by the way,
him
shout out to
about
Gold Guy 81. I missed the last time it was Matt Day, and turns out we didn't talk that day. It was a shame.
You missed Matt Day?
Yeah, I did. I was working.
I'm ashamed.
Oh, was I? Can't remember if I was working. I know I was busy with something. Like I couldn't get on the internet.
That's no.
Other than my phone.
That's a funny way of covering up that you're heavily masturbating for an entire day.
Well, I mean, it is working and it is not being able to be on the internet in a way. I know I did have a good reason. So yeah, maybe I did find the best video ever. I don't know.
Not
Fuck
even
you, Tyler.
Discuss what it could be because it's probably something relevant to goats.
Fuck you, Tyler.
You love it, really.
What?
I mean the teasing, not the goats.
Right. That's weird. I don't want to be in this conversation anymore.
Hey, if you want to ever spring some dirt on me, remember, not too long ago I said I'll cosplay as Blake to go to the conventions and confuse bonus. So that's a thing.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't want to piss on you and then get people to think I'm pissing on cosplayers. Here's the thing. Let me explain
Golden
something.
showers.
Or shit, if you're into that. If we ever shit on something that Tyler says he would do, like editing or cosplaying or cooking or whatever, we're not shitting on the activity itself. We're shitting on Tyler, okay?
I don't think you have to
Let's make that very clear.
I don't think you need to qualify that, really. It's like, all of us are gamers, and we all, insult stuff relevant to gamers all the time, So
I pretty much just want to make it clear that we're shitting on Tyler.
You're so politically correct. Now,
no, not because of being politically correct. It's just to make sure people remember that.
We're not shitting on you cosplayers because, we think that Tyler's fucking stupid.
There's only so much shit we can spew out of your metaphorical bodies on Tyler's metaphorical head.
Oh God, if we ever have a live panel, I don't think Luis is ever going to forget it because I'm going to make him feel really awkward.
Fight me, Tyler. We should fight.
We should fight. We start recording. It's like, right, panel time. Ding, ding.
And in this corner, wearing the red trunks with black trim.
Oh, we would need to have an introduction. When you walk through the crowd, it'll be a bunch of empty chairs and maybe 10 people, but we need some music blaring out.
I'll do the ring introductions. That'll be fine.
What would your song be, Luis, if you had to walk down the aisle?
Oh man, that's a hard one. I don't know.
I'm
gonna go with the first thing that popped into my head. Cherry Pie by Warrant.
I would totally make things awkward for you and turn up with something like YMCA or the Gummy Bear song or something. Something really awkward.
Yeah, I mean, Cherry Pie doesn't really fit the whole thing for fighting. I don't know why that song popped in my head. I just really like that song.
Get ready for a boxing fight, and all you hear as he enters the ring is, it's fun to stay in the...
YMCA.
I know what mine would be.
Oh, God. What would be
I
yours?
need to think on this. Hold on.
I know what mine would be.
Ahead.
It would be a Blue Suede, Hooked on a Feeling. Ooga shaka.
Ooga shaka. I think we've inadvertently got a question for the audience.
Yeah.
Which I think would be great because all of a sudden it'd be like, I can't stop this feeling. And just be like, what you saying? What you saying? You want to fight me or fuck me?
Actually, no. If I was going to be a little bit more serious about it, I'd probably take...
No, I got it. Highway to Hell. That would be... I fucking love that song. So yeah,
that is good.
It would be Highway to Hell.
I would...
Tyler, get on a compilation of these. Do a fake fight for all of us, Screw Attack Death Battle.
Oh God. CGI,
Let's go
you guys in.
WWE, the game, and square off.
I'm up for that. When WWE gets released, I'll create some of us as characters, and we'll do a little...
I don't know, I don't have that game. Just remember the Core Pirate.
No, I mean, when WWE 2K17 gets released and we got things like Goldberg in the game, it would be me and Goldberg take on SpartanSloth, take on Luis and Randy Orton, and Tyler and The Rock.
And John Cena.
John Cena!
I would think I would take a little clip of me, just to be... just to have something fast, and really confusing for everybody.
I feel like Tyler... I don't know if you guys ever saw the Let's Plays for WWE that Achievement Hunter did, but Tyler would probably be Gavin's characters.
Oh my God, yeah. I could see you, Louise, as Ryan's character's this is perfectly normal.
Which one was his? I can't remember.
His was the guy with the weird shoulder pad look for his shoulders, the very flat shoulders, and he was like, "Oh, this is perfectly normal." And Michael was like, "This is normal, really? With the blood on your face and the chest? This is normal?" It's Ryan's like, "Yeah, it's perfectly fine."
Oh man,
TJ, how about yours? Are you paying attention? It's just a sound clip of Sonny asking, "Are you paying attention?" before someone else's introduction starts.
Tyler, can you just make a song out of that, a remix?
TJ.
Actually, no.
Are you
I want
paying
Sunny
attention?
to say, TJ, are you paying attention?
And then
I want Tyler to remix it.
I'll put it on the night shift. Sonny, I need you.
That'd
Right,
be like the
TJ,
Player
answer.
4. That would be like the Player 4
That's
podcast.
my song.
Tyler, when Joseph made the Alex remix.
Oh, God.
And the song's just going to play as I come out, and I'm playing Pokemon Go and not paying attention to anything going on around me.
You get like a folding chair to your head and so like, dude, what the fuck?
How
It's
did
like you in
cause
the front
that?
row. Move your head to the
Catching
right.
an
I need to
Eevee.
catch this Charmander.
You'll just be sitting there you'll just be in the ring up against the turnbuckle, just sitting on one of the ropes, just like, yeah, I'll be with you in a second. And Bruce Buffer's like, and now TJ 1023. Shut up a second. I'm trying to catch Pidgey. Can you go away? Sorry.
Only 2 more Pidgeys and I can get a Pidgey out.
Just here. Are you paying attention? Well, you can't. That's someone else's. That's Stone Cold Steve Austin's. I was like, I think that's very familiar. Wait a minute.
You could actually do TJ 1023 as the John Cena one. It's like dun dun da 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 TJ 1023.
Yeah, if you add in more syllables than are there.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I think we can wrap up here. Everyone, thank you so much for listening. Stuart, thank you so much for being with us today.
Absolute pleasure as always. I fucking love you guys. Yay!
Love you too.
Let's take
Don't
this out of
forget
context.
Sorry, yeah.
Tyler.
No.
Everyone, yeah, please don't. Don't forget to listen to the outro to find out how to interact with us. And so also don't forget to answer the question for the audience, which is, what would be your theme song for a WWE battle? I'll also put the link for the topics forum, so you guys can suggest topics for us if you wish. And until next week, don't get hit by a folding chair. Bye.
Bye.
I'll try. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Shifty Key Podcast. The intro and outro music is provided to us by our editor, TDBTyler. To get more involved with the Shifty Key Podcast, you can answer the questions for the audience asked by our guests, or even ask the cast a question of your very own, either here in the YouTube comments or in our Rooster Teeth group. To keep updated with this channel's shenanigans, you can follow us on Twitter, join and watch our group on Rooster Teeth, or simply subscribe. All links will be in the description. Until next week, goodbye.
Are you paying attention?
Oh
Are
my
you the
god.
TJ?
I'm getting all these ideas. I want to do this now. I want to produce.
Man, we need that on a t-shirt. TJ, are you paying attention?
We can finally start merchandising.
It'll be on a mug.
I sent you ideas forever ago, TJ, for designs.
You
Never
sent,
saw
like,
one of them.
I thought I made one. I made the thing on the peanut butter jar.
We made a peanut butter jar
Wait.
cover.
Never mind, that was a different thing.
Yeah, that was just
Oh
a
my
wallpaper you
God.
sent me,
Yeah.
which is fucking lovely, and I still have it.
I honestly don't know what happened to those drawings you sent me.
I can send them again if you want.
I'm saying, like,
You could.
if you want to do merchandise, I'm pretty sure everyone will want a pack of condoms with, like, our different faces on them. And it blows up.
Ugh, no, don't do that.
That would be...
Man, I wish I had the skill to draw like the... Remember when we had that discussion? I think it was something like, what would be our RPG characters? And I was saying I'll be this supernatural hunter with a sloth called Lemon the Sloth. And like, I've been getting ideas of how to draw this, but I don't have the skill.
Do it.
Like Lemon will have... Man, Lemon will be so funny. It will be like a yellowish sloth with a bonnet. You know, those really old-time hats for ladies. It'll be fucking hilarious.
Jesus. Anyway, shall I stop recording?
Yeah, Ted.
What? No, you're not getting the last word. Fuck you.
Ted.
Fuck you.
Hey, did I ever tell the story of how TJ got rid of his cookie addiction?